specifically the proposed truck bypass. The Metropolitan Planning Association, organization, I'm sorry, made a presentation to the City Council last month on 4 proposed truck bypass routes. Right now, there is no truck bypass. All the trucks come basically through Highway 84 through the heart of downtown. I'm glad, I applaud them for wanting to get trucks out of downtown. We need to get all those trucks, especially those trucks that carry hazardous cargo from coming through downtown. Now, one proposal is to move the truck bypass to Savannah Avenue, which is just 1 block south of Hill. The second proposal is to construct a road south of Savannah, yet to be named, but south of Savannah through a residential district, and come out from West Street and come back over to Fry Street to Hill Avenue going out. The third proposal, which I think is the best proposal, is to route those trucks down St. Augustine Road to Gil Harbin, and not Gil Harbin to Perimeter, and not to Perimeter, but to Clay Road, and Clay Road back up to Hill Avenue, going out that way. And then the fourth proposal was to construct a road at 84 and James Road, just south of the elementary school, and go due south to 75, and then what they call a flyover, build a flyover over 75 and get to Madison Highway that way. And here's the stickler, and talking to Corey Hull and some of the folks that know more about it than I do. If the city decides to use Savannah Avenue and change that to a truck bypass, they would redesignate that as Highway 84/Georgia Highway 38. And that would make them eligible for not only federal funding, but state funding as well. If they take St. Augustine to Gil Harbin, they wouldn't be eligible for that funding, because there's stipulations about how far truckers can ride to a truck bypass. Personally, I think that the city needs to look at getting all truck traffic as far from downtown as possible. I think the St. Augustine route, Gil Harbin route, is the most viable. We've got a divided highway on St. Augustine going down to the industrial park. Once you get to Gil Harbin, it's a divided 4-lane road that wouldn't take much to upgrade to meet the state specs to carry that type of truck traffic. And then they will obviously have to do some improvement on the Clay Road to handle that truck. The Clay Road right now handles a significant amount of truck traffic anyway, with Southern States Cottonseed Plant and ADM soybean plant right there. So, and also Whitaker and some other places at that industrial park. So we wouldn't have to do very much, but we get to have some discussion on that and find out what council's intended. They haven't yet said what they intended. That proposal has been made, and I know one of the issues that the mayor had was during the campaign was to get the trucks out of downtown. So I don't want us to get caught behind the curve on this transportation issue. It's a viable thing that we need to do. And while we're doing that, we talked about in our last meeting establishing some subcommittees to work on some of the planks in our platform. If you're interested in the transportation committee, obviously that's a pet of mine. Get with me and I'll be happy to sit down with you and start working on the transportation issue. We need some folks on the education subcommittee. We need people to work on the environmental. I'm going to assume that Mr. Porter, since he's talking a little more about our environmental issues than the folks at the city hall.
Oh, I got some news at the city hall later.
But maybe John will chair that subcommittee. I know, that's what you give us any close. But and then the subcommittee on getting better jobs. We need some getting jobs in Valdosta. Here's a fact that a lot of people don't know: Valdosta is the poorest metropolitan area in Georgia. Of the 10 metro cities, we rank last in per capita income. 1 out of 4 people that live in Valdosta live below poverty. And it will just mean how other places like Warner Robins and Rome, Gainesville, Georgia, and other cities that are similar size to Valdosta can prosper a lot more than Valdosta. People always say, well, they're closer to Atlanta, or they're closer to larger military installations. Well, we got something they don't have. We got close proximity to 2 major interstate routes, and we're close to 2 major, or 3 if you count Savannah, Brunswick, and Jacksonville seaports within 2.5 hours of seaports. So, and we got major highways, U.S. highways coming through Valdosta, and we have the 3rd longest runway of any airport in Georgia behind Hartsfield Jackson and Savannah Hilton Head.
And our rail system.
In our rail system, we have 2 major rail lines coming through Valdosta. And something that I was impressed with what Cordeal did. They made an agreement with the Port of Savannah for the intermodal rail traffic. Tankers come into Savannah, loaded down with cargo. Georgia Florida Railroad ran a spur to the industrial park in Cordeal. And so they put them on rail, and they were dispersing everything from the Port of Savannah. They are dispersing things now out of Cordeal Industrial Park. And with Valdosta City, I'm glad Teresa mentioned that, with 2 major rail lines, there's no reason why we can't be involved in it if we, the city stops suing the county stops suing the city. It's kind of embarrassing when they see that face. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I've been here a long time, and I know how things work around here until the people in this city and county decide the powers that be that are in existence today need to be changed. Not much will change.
That's true. That's so true. I saw a hand somewhere.
Me. I have 2 things. One is that the MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, will have the Citizens Advisory Committee will meet Tuesday, March the 7th at 3 p.m. That's the one you serve on. Yes. That's the one Jim serves on. You can go and watch these meetings. You can participate. Sometimes they have places where you can say something. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock, the Technical Advisory Committee meets Wednesday at 9 a.m. and the Policy Committee meets at 10:30 on Wednesday. So these are government meetings that you can go to and observe, and sometimes they have, depending on what meeting it is, they might have a place for you to say something. If we start going to these meetings about the issues that we're concerned about, if Democrats start going to transportation meetings, the school board meetings, school board usually has citizens to be heard, you have to sign up, but and go and say, this is important to us. They'll get the point, but we have to go. We can't just come to this meeting and then do nothing. The other thing is, I went to the County Commission retreat a couple of weeks ago, and they talked for more than an hour about transportation. They talked about T-Splost, that we could do a tax on ourselves, to build a bypass that we would pay for ourselves, but there would be no way to force the federal government to change US 84 to go onto it. When we voted down T-Splost last time, one of the reasons why I voted against it was because it didn't have an option for public transportation in it. If we vote for a T-Splost on ourselves, I think that Democrats should lobby to have a public transportation component in it. We shouldn't just be taxing ourselves to make a truck bypass. We should be taxing ourselves to make sure that people live in our community have a way to get around. So you can watch the video of that back. I took video for 2 days long, 2 long days, but just go to the Lowndes Area Knowledge Exchange YouTube and find the one that's T-Splost from a couple of weeks ago and listen to that back as the commissioners talk about they don't think that we have what Cordeal has to become an inland port. Cordeal's too far ahead of us. But we could do more distribution things, like the Amazon thing they're maybe going to build over by Exit 13, distribution centers, more things like Lowe's and Home Depot, because we do have this other infrastructure. Listen to them talk about that stuff, and then call your representative up and say, I listened to what you said at the retreat, here are my thoughts. I think we ought to something.
Yeah. I got this granddad do the right thing, more for juice. I saw him do this, so I go back there. Yeah, I didn't tell you, I'm sorry.
Make sure you leave my tip.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, can I make a comment on that?
Yes.
Stand up, Bill, so everybody can hear.
My issue is the education part. That's my baby. And we can do the sign, I think that's a good idea. But what our teachers need right now is help inside the classroom. We have anger issue, we have social issue, we have a discipline issue, and the teachers are struggling trying to get through it. They can't teach because they have to take too much time taking care of other kids. One kid can disrupt the whole class. You know, we really got to get on them to take care of that issue. Teachers are not trained to take care of some of the issues they have. The superintendent told us last week a little boy kicked him 20 times. The little boy kicked him 20 times. Now, the little boy didn't know who he was, but he gets angry. They do teachers the same way. So we really got to focus on the education board to get some help in these school systems, especially the ones like in Pineville, some of the other ones that are low income neighborhoods. They need help. I teach them. I heard it. I feel it. I go to school. I go out there 4 days a week. 4 days a week I go to Pineville. I'm telling you, it's hard on my teachers. They got to play full every day. And I thought they put in short, they put in long hours. Nothing for an 8 to 10 hour day. Nothing for a teacher. 12 hours sometimes. You know, so
Isn't that a parent issue?
we can blame parents, but blame don't fix any issue. Some of these parents can't do anything. They don't have the skills. They don't have the resource. My sister went through it with her daughter. She didn't know how to take care of her kid, but she had 3. So who's suffering?
Well, I think what it comes down to is you have parents out there trying to work 2, 3 jobs because they can't make it on a minimum wage job. So it all kind of comes back to better living, better wage jobs so they can work one job, be home with their children at night, be able to have a family meal, help them with their homework, talk to them about their day, discipline. I mean, that's what happened to the family structure is families are trying to struggle to make a living. They can't raise their children. They're left to the streets or to grandma. And I think that's what we need to get back to is finding better jobs for people so they can be home with their children and actually raise them.
I'm doing a better job. But a lot of these mothers don't have jobs. You know, they're just where they are in life. And they're not able to help these kids. They're not able to help them. They don't have the skills, they don't have the finance or anything to help these kids. And we're paying for it by putting them in jail. But it costs more to put a kid in jail than educate.
Right.
I think if you look at our platform, if we push these planks and make this platform strong, you're gonna hit a lot of these issues because you talk about better paying jobs, you talk about improving education, you talk about public transportation. If most of the jobs are in the industrial park or in the lake park or on the north side of Valdosta, and you live more than 2 miles, most people ain't gonna walk that far to a job. But they'll catch a bus.
I think you just wrote a letter to the editor.
Been working on that. But I think we're gonna do that. That's good. Any members wishing to be heard?
Since you